Hello everybody, my name is Edward. You may know me from my channel on either Pokemon86, which is my gaming channel, or my other channel, AfroGeek PlusUltraNappy, which is my unboxing anime reviewing channel. I'm here to not really talk about either channels or the content that's going to be on them, at least for now right now. I want to talk to you guys about something that's important to me and something that quite a few of you have been asking me. So if you read the title, let's go ahead and I'm just going to jump right into the news, or not news, but the stuff. So a couple weeks back, I discovered I had this big old knot on the left side of my neck. I'm sure some of you guys may have noticed it in videos beforehand, or are gonna notice it now since I pointed it out. I noticed it there one night when I was with my girlfriend and her family, and it was kind of concerning me, and I didn't know what it was. But since I wasn't in any pain, or I wasn't hurting, or it wasn't making me sick, I never had a fever, anything, I just kind of left it alone and said I'd give it a week to go down, and then I'll go to maybe urgent care, get it checked out. A week goes by, it's still there, hasn't really gone down. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to urgent care. Go to urgent care. The doctor's there. They asked me a couple questions. I pretty much said no to all of them because it was just like stuff like if you have a fever, all this stuff. And then I was like, nope. And so the doctor who came and examined me, she told me, she seemed concerned. And she told me to go to the emergency room because there was really nothing she could do for me. And this seemed like an emergency. I went to the emergency room. Not going to say what hospital. Went there. They drew blood, and then I waited to see a doctor. I go back there, and this was just kind of a nightmare from the jump. I get blood drawn, and they want to put an IV in me so they can examine this more. I guess I must have deep veins or something, because one lady tried to poke me on my right arm, couldn't do it, and so then a nurse tried to poke me on my right arm. She couldn't do it, so she called in another nurse to come in and do it on that same arm, or on my left arm. She couldn't do it, and so they got in a specialist who uses like an ultrasound machine for people who have deep and hidden veins, and so they called him in there, and he was able to do it, but he had a little bit of trouble since they poked me so many times. He said it was difficult, and if they wouldn't have done that, then it would have been even more easier. And I was like, oh, well, cool. Overall, it hurt. And then I got blood drawn again. I got a CT scan from here to about here, and they infused two things in me, something just to flush out my IV, and then something that was gonna make my whole body hot. And the lady described it as my whole body was going to feel like I was hot, like I was burning up, and then it's going to somewhat feel like I pissed myself. And it did feel like I pissed myself. Just the feeling was just really funny. And so a doctor comes in, he talks to me, and he's just kind of looking at everything. I asked him if it was cancerous, because that was the one thing I was terrified of. And he just kept saying, no. And so then he goes off. We're sitting there waiting for the longest time. I'm getting upset because I'm hungry and I want to go home. And number two, well, the first thing, I'll put the hungry and ready to go home second. The first thing is I'm terrified to death of hospitals. That's hospitals I absolutely hate. And so I was ready to leave. And so then this other doctor comes in. I don't want to say his ethnicity because I don't want to get it wrong. He was definitely Middle Eastern, but I'm not going to try and say which one. Like I said, I don't want to get his ethnicity wrong. So he just kept saying, they looked at it, and he just kept saying cancer. He just literally kept saying the word cancer over and over and over. And he was pissing me off because he wasn't following up with anything else. And I'm just kind of like, hold on. One doctor told me this didn't look cancerous, and now you're telling me it looks cancerous. I'm like, well, which one is it? Because you just keep saying cancer, and you're not following up with any other possibilities on what this could be. He didn't really say much after that. He just said, we'll have to get you checked into a room, and you'll have to stay the night here. And then from there on, I was just... But luckily they had cable, and I was able to watch Nicktoons and stuff. I stayed up till about close to 4 in the morning because I just didn't want to go to sleep. I was scared. I was told that I would have a biopsy done that morning. And I'm like, oh, well, great. I won't be able to sleep at all because I'm going to be terrified to get a biopsy done. So Saturday rolls around. Throughout the night, or throughout early in the morning, like 4 something, like the time I got to my room, and all throughout Saturday, I just get, okay, well, let me just start from here. So when I get to my room, maybe an hour or two pass by, a nurse comes in to get vitals. And this nurse was really cool. I had her throughout the whole weekend, up until I think Monday. Maybe Monday? No, I just had her throughout the weekend. So I had her like for Saturday and Sunday. And she was really cool. She was very, very cool. I liked her a lot. She actually was one of my favorite nurses. Actually, she was probably my #1 favorite nurse throughout my whole experience there. Because she was really nice. She related to me a lot. And my girlfriend. And she was just overall super cool and understanding. And just kind of just let me do whatever, honestly. Like, you weren't supposed to go outside. She'd let me go out. She would say, technically I'm not supposed to, but I'm not going to stop you, just to go outside, get a little bit of fresh air. And just kind of, just not for once think I'm in the hospital. Anyway, so Saturday comes, I'm getting vitals, which is just them checking my blood pressure, my temperature. My doctor that comes in is the main doctor I kind of had throughout this experience. So he comes in and he's talking to me about it being some sort of autoimmune deficiency thing, which means I just have a weak immune system. And then he mentioned lymphoma. And lymphoma is a type of cancer, and it's one of the treatable ones, and which won't last with me forever. He mentioned that, but didn't really talk much of it. And then I spoke to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and she mentioned the same thing, that she most likely think this is lymphoma, which of course it scared the out of me, my girlfriend, my mom, and my mom's friend. I asked her if I was gonna die from it. She laughed and said, "No, this is one of the most treatable ones, and you will not die from this. You're very young. If anything, you would just go through chemotherapy or radiation or any other stuff that we have for you, if this is what it is." But she's like, "No, I can't really diagnose you and say what this is because we still don't know." And so of course, I cried and stuff, and I was like crying and just overall upset because nobody wants to hear that they might have cancer. Nobody wants to hear that. It's a really hard subject. Throughout the rest of the day Saturday, I'm just watching TV, hanging with my girlfriend. Apparently, also my doctor says, yeah, your biopsy's not going to happen until Monday because we don't have any surgeons who qualify or who specify in biopsies here today. Or we don't have any surgeons in to do biopsies for the weekend. Not until Monday. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm basically stuck there till Monday, and throughout that time there, I'm just speaking to my doctor, oncologist, and I'm just getting vitals done, more blood drawn, and then I'm also just kind of bored. So then Monday rolls around, and I haven't heard anything from my doctor about when my biopsy appointment's gonna be, or if I'm even having my biopsy that day. So just like any other day, I'm just speaking to an oncologist, because she at this point didn't know what was up with my biopsy thing. So she thought it already happened, and we're just like, no. And she's like, oh, well, okay, I'll come back. And then I'm getting more vitals done, more blood drawn. I'm told not to eat anything or drink anything because he thinks that my biopsy is still happening today. So I haven't eaten or drank anything for about 6 to 8 hours. And I was getting hungry and thirsty, and I was just getting really upset. He was just kind of like, okay, you can eat or drink because I don't know what's going on. And then he comes in, he's upset because he just wants to get everything done too. And, he tells me that my biopsy is going to happen on Thursday, but he doesn't know the time. He just knows that it's going to definitely happen on Thursday. And I'm like, okay. So it gives me the rest of today. At the time, I was like, that gives me the rest of today. That gives me Tuesday and Wednesday to kind of just be cool. And so, I'm walking around with one of these like those things that you carry that have an IV bag that's attached to your, a fluid bag that's attached to your IV. So there's that. Um, and then I think Tuesday rolls around. I'm speaking to a chaplain. I'm speaking to an oncologist, and apparently my doctor switched, so I have a new doctor. I don't know what happened with him, but the new doctor I got here, I'm not gonna put his name out there. He's a white dude, but I'm not gonna put his name out there though. He was more, he showed more empathy, and he wasn't as strict. He was really cool and laid back and relaxed. And around Monday, I meant to say, this time around Monday, I had stuff to make it feel more at home. Like my girlfriend went and got me a couple sets of clothes, so I had sweatpants and shirts and warm socks. I had my monitor that I keep in my closet. I had my Nintendo Switch. She brought her PlayStation. The Wi-Fi was kind of crappy, so she couldn't really get it connected on her PlayStation, but I was able to get it connected on my Switch. And I downloaded YouTube and Hulu on my Switch, so that way I can have access to watching Hulu and YouTube through it. So I had all of that by like Monday at the latest, which definitely made it more homey. And I was able to play games because I got Mario Tennis Aces for the Switch because it was on sale. I bought it before I went into the hospital, and I was able to play it with my girlfriend there, so it was pretty cool. And we kind of just played Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Because she's trying to get into Smash Bros. Because she says she kind of thinks that's cool. And then we played Overcooked. So, like I said, Tuesday spoke to a chaplain, got more vitals done, all that stuff. And then I believe it was that night I had to do another CT scan because my new doctor recommended that we do a CT scan to kind of make sure nothing spread and all my other organs and stuff were good. And that kind of freaked me out. He said, I do not really think this spread it at all, but just to be on the safe side while we got you here, you might as well just do it. And so I was forced to drink this really nasty liquid, and I'm getting sick just thinking about it because it made me almost throw up every time I drank it. And the nurses told me not to drink it through a straw because it's more difficult that way. Just gulp it. Like as if you're doing shots, is what she was saying. And I got about a quarter of the way through drinking that because I kept saying, if I keep drinking this, I'm going to throw up. And my night nurse, she was like, well, you won't have to drink it. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just saying, hey, how late are they open? Because I'm taking my sweet time with this because I'm not finna puke drinking this. I'm sorry. I'm not finna puke drinking this damn drink. And she was like, well, they're basically open all night. And I'm like, well, shit. We finna... I ain't going down there till like... I'm not going down there till like probably 1 in the morning. Just keeping it real. And she was like, okay, I'll speak to someone down there. Because she told me usually they'll make exceptions for people who drink in like half of it. So, at this point, I've drank in half of it. And if you guys hear noises, I'm sorry. I think they're fixing an apartment down below. If you hear a lot of noises and doors slamming and stuff, then, you know, I can't help it. That's what it is. In this apartment complex, everything is like, it's older and the walls are kind of thinner, so everything, you just hear everything. They made an exception, and at this point I drank half of it, and so they allowed me to go down there, get a full CT scan, and then afterwards, I don't really even eat. Actually, yeah, I do. I eat. So then Wednesday comes around, I'm freaking out kind of because it's like, oh, my biopsy is the next day. I'm like all anxious because I have terrible anxiety. And so I'm just kind of just like, My doctor comes in, he tells me that, you know, he said it looks like I have multiple swollen lymph nodes. And he said that they haven't gone down. But he said nothing is spreaded to my body. He said everything's good. All my organs, my kidneys, liver, all that is in good condition. Nothing else is really wrong with me. I'm healthy. Besides this, I shouldn't say I'm healthy, but besides this, I'm good. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I speak to him. I speak to multiple other people. I get extra blood drawn that night. And at this point, they told me I couldn't eat or drink anything past midnight. So Thursday rolls around, my aunt comes, my girlfriend's there, my mom's there. My biopsy happened at 11:30. It was funny because I remember I told one guy who's an anesthesiologist. I told him that I have really bad anxiety, so I'm a little nervous. And he injected something in me that made me like, whoa. So once we get there, they asked me to get on the operating table, which I do. And then I'm just kind of just chilling. I'm like, okay, is this where I get the stuff? And they're like, yeah, just breathe in and out for me and count down from 1 to 10. And I was like, okay. I was like, 1, 2, and that's all I remember. The next thing you know, I wake up, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And this area where nurses are looks like Wall Street because there's like a couple papers flying, there's nurses all over the place. Here's some lady next to me, I guess, just got an operation too. So she was like, oh. And I'm like, what the was that? And I'm like getting in and out of it, and I'm like, yo, where am I? And I'm like, did my surgery happen already? I'm like, that was quick. And I look at the time, and it's like almost 2. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, that was quick. And so the nurses are taking me back, and she's like, hey, your biopsy's done. How you feeling? I'm like, it's done. I was like, that was quick. I was like, I'm chilling. And so they take me back to my room. I come back, they're like, hey, and I'm like, what up? And then I basically sleep up until about close to 4. And then I get up, I take a shower, I eat a little later on. I basically watch SpongeBob for the remainder of the night because I had my mom bring some movies up. Like, I own season 3, so I had my mom run that up to the hospital. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch SpongeBob tonight, y'all. And shout out to my girlfriend, man. She literally stayed up there with me every single night. She literally stayed for a whole week in the hospital with me. And my mom came up there every day. She was up there every night. It was great. It was just had family that came up there. I got so much support on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter. I got so much support from friends and family that it was just beyond. Like, words can't even describe how much I appreciated everybody keeping me in their thoughts and their prayers. And it was just, I can't really cry because I've cried so much throughout those weeks. That's, oh, okay, nope, never mind. It feels like I'm about to a little bit. You guys just have no idea how much it really meant to me. It really did. Um, I never thought I would get so much support, not just from friends and family, but literally from people who I went to school with, who I haven't talked to in like a hot minute. You know, it was crazy. It was bonkers. And then also, like I said, shout out to my girlfriend because she hooked your boy up with a Switch Pro controller, some new shorts, some new gym shorts, which are a lot better than my old ones. Some house shoes, or some slippers. Some people call them slippers, I call them house shoes. And then, you know, we also watched Disney Plus for a little bit, just chilling. I'm not going to put her name out there, but I just want to especially thank you. I highly doubt she's going to watch this video, but thank you just for everything. I really appreciate it. And I love you. I'm going to have to tell her to watch this video because otherwise, if I just say this and she doesn't watch this, it's just going to get hella awkward. So Friday rolls around, my mom brings up like a bunch of donuts and danishes and like iced coffee mochas and juices for all the nurses and doctors and everything. Because that Friday, you know, I'm still waiting on results. I was supposed to find out on Monday, but whatever it was they were looking at wasn't ready yet. So now I have to wait 10 more days, which I'm honestly about, but, you know. So literally this could mean anything. Like, it could be lymphoma still, it could be cancerous or not, it could be an autoimmune deficiency, it could be something with my thyroid or my mono. We don't know. Nobody really knows what this could be. So the possibilities are endless. They just did the biopsy to roll out that option of it being lymphoma. Now I just play the waiting game and find out my results. But regardless of what this is, I feel I'm in high spirits. I've done so much talking to where if whatever it is, I feel like I can come to terms with it and just be like, okay, so I got this. What's the next step? What do we do from here to get all this resolved? That's how I like to look at it. I got a haircut too because during my biopsy they had to shave off a certain part of my beard right here. So I said I don't want to walk around with part of my beard with like a little section of my beard shaved off. So that Saturday I got my hair cut and then I got my beard trimmed. And that Friday, it felt so weird getting out the hospital that Friday. I know I did some shopping with my mom. I bought Fire Emblem 3 Houses that day because I was just like, F it. You know, I'm out. I want to buy a Switch game that I've been wanting to play for the longest time. It feels kind of weird because that's like the first game Fire Emblem game I'm diving into. Well, actually, that's a lie because I've played a couple others. But it's the first one I've played in a while. So, and then on that Saturday, I got Shield. So, but I'm gonna save that for a video on my Pokemon 1086 channel. So right now, I'm just playing catch up with school. I literally got like 2 essays to work on and a couple other assignments for my acting class. So I'm just playing catch up with school assignments, and like I said, alrighty guys, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll update you guys on what the situation is and everything. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications. That way you guys know when I upload. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below. Instagram, SoundCloud, all that jazz. Alrighty guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.